It's our pleasure to collectively be here to formally announce some really exciting news that's a long time in the making. One of government's basic functions is to ensure and maintain our infrastructure and our road, whether that's paving. In this case, when traffic increases and congestion increases, that includes making sure we upgrade our infrastructure to accommodate for that traffic. And so despite Woodbury Common and other development, and certainly people moving into Woodbury, and an incredible amount of traffic coming to this interchange over the last many years, we haven't addressed this issue, but today we do announce we are finally going to be addressing this issue. We have a DOT approved project that's been sitting on a shelf for the past now 4 years or so. Just before I got elected, it was announced that they were postponing this project, and this is a very significant major project to come to Woodbury. It was originally announced by the governor as $150 million. The number is actually $115 million, but the point is that's enough to cover both phases of this project. This will be fully completed when all is said and done. I was proud to work with over many years all the people standing here behind me. Some of them have worked for over a decade in the planning and advocacy of trying to get this project done. Certainly over the past 4 years in the Assembly, I've been trying to get the funding to get this done. So what we're looking at here is a significant reconfiguration of this interchange that is right here next to us, routes 17, 32, 6, and of course the thruway, that will really make this interchange more efficient. It will streamline the traffic. The marquee item, if you will, is a loop that will be constructed just around near where the old motel used to be, that will carry Woodbury Common traffic and any traffic coming south on 32 directly onto the thruway, as opposed to needing to take left-hand turns as what currently exists onto the thruway. We're also going to be doing work that shifts the off-ramp for 17 that exists right now, shift that down south. That interchange, or that intersection rather, will be completely eliminated. That traffic light will be completely eliminated, alongside another traffic light right here just north of us will be completely eliminated. So we're doing away with traffic lights that keep cars at red lights, but more importantly, we're moving the traffic more expeditiously and more efficiently onto the thruway, where most of the Woodbury Common traffic is going back to New York City, going back down south, sometimes into Jersey. Route 6 is going to be worked on. We're going to be expanding the on-off ramps of Route 6. We're going to be replacing the bridge here, the surface and the bridge over Route 17 here on Route 32. So this is a massive project. It's going to put a lot of people to work, but most importantly, it's going to improve quality of life here in Woodbury, and it's going to make this interchange and the surrounding community a safer community, which will be spoken about in a little bit as well. So I'm going to introduce a couple people to come up and say a few words, and I'll start with the Village of Woodbury Mayor Mike Queenan.
I'd like to thank Assemblyman James Skoufis, because this was a long time coming. Woodbury has suffered for many, many years with the traffic congestion in this area. And again, I'd like to thank James, because he fought very hard for the last 4 years trying to get the money approved for this project. We've been waiting since 2013, and now hopefully the project will be kick off in the spring of 2017. Thank you. Thank you again, James.
Yep. Dave?
I'm just going to echo the same things. I know James has been very tenacious up in Albany trying to get this back onto the schedule. It's now being scheduled. It's taken, as James said, 4 or 5 years before we've gotten to this point. I just want to say that it shows you how an assemblyman like James is valuable to the community, because he continues on what he's saying. Even though we've gotten shot down in the past, he didn't give up. He kept fighting for it, and now it's coming to fruition. So as representative for the town, I'd just like to thank him for all his hard work, and it means something to all the residents. Thank you, James.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
David Sutz.
S-U-T-Z. Maria?
Maria Hunter, I want to also thank Assemblyman James Skoufis for his hard work for the last 4 years. being one of the original members of the group that started with this exit 131 interchange. It's a long time coming, and we truly appreciate all your hard work, James. Thank you so much.
Maria.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Any other details you want to fill in, or did I basically cover the major points?
You have the major points. This project will probably last about 2.5 years once it's started. Once the state puts everything into place, we'll have the elimination of 2 stoplights, as James mentioned, and the Route 32 will go from a 4 to 6 lane highway, and it will ease the traffic for the residents of Woodbury and for everyone else that comes to visit this beautiful town and village. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria.
Maria Hunter.
Pat Conk, President, Woodbury Ambulance Corps. And I just wanted to say that when it comes to an emergency, time is of the essence, and the traffic situation that's here now delays our response to getting to our patients. It delays us getting them to the hospital, and also our return back to the community so that we can take care of the next response.
Do you want to talk about maybe some of this long wait times you've had in the interchange before?
I can say that the interchange.
Yeah, the traffic.
Waiting to get back to another call.
Yes. When it also dictates sometimes what hospital we can go to. If we have to go on to the thruway, it's tough to get on. Then we go to it's tough to get to Good Samaritan and then get back to Woodbury so that we're ready for the next call.
Thanks, Pat. Anyone else want to say a few words? Mayor, councilman, trustees? Anyone? Neil, you were on the original group. Do you want to say anything?
Come on, Neil.
Well, just very quickly, we started working on toward this project in 1993. It took James' effort after being elected to have it come to fruition. And all I can say is, thank you, James.
Thanks. Well,
It takes a lot of knocking on doors consistently and keeping our needs in the forefront. So I congratulate James, I thank James, and I don't think it would have happened without him.
Thanks, Neil. So the timeline we're looking at here is this project will be starting next year. We are hopeful that it will start in the early part of the construction season next year. As Maria noted, the completion of the total project will probably take in the vicinity of 2, maybe a little bit more than 2 years. This was billed as 2 separate phases because we weren't certain what kind of money we would be able to get, whether be able to get money just for phase 1 to get it started, or we'd be able to get more for phase 1 and 2. So these phases are being combined into one larger project now. They'll probably go out to bid collectively, and so that's why we can't get this started this year. Just so you all know, the timeline is they do need to secure some rights of way still. They need to go out to bid, and then there are waiting periods, when you do go out to bid, to hear back, et cetera, et cetera. So we're getting all of our ducks in a row to start in earnest in 2017. This $115 million is likely one of the most significant, largest DOT capital projects that will be happening as a result of the capital plan we approved in the budget last week anywhere in the state, not just in the Hudson Valley. This was in the Assembly budget proposal that we passed early in March. This was an effort, not just myself, everyone here, to continue to try and gain momentum to get this funding. We brought the Assembly Speaker to this very spot last September to have him learn of the importance and urgency of why this needs to get done. And his support during the budget negotiations was also critical when he was in that negotiating room with the governor and the Senate, who ultimately signed off on this. So this is a major commitment, a major investment in our area. It is a long time coming. We're thrilled that it is happening, and we certainly look forward to getting shovels in the ground early next year.